Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Don't let him get away. He's wasted! Bingo! Yahoo! Don't let him get away. Enemy target located. Bogey on our 6. Take off! Fire! Shoot him down! Great shot! Back one! Bogey on our 6. Back one! Take off! Jesus, miss! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Great! He's wasted! Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Take off! Great shot!
Warning!
Bingo! Yahoo!
Warning!
Locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive!
Alert!
Dive!
Body damage! Alert! Body damage! Alert! Body damage!
Enemy in sight.
Alert! Body damage! Alert! Body
Up
damage!
ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Great shot! Bogey on our 6. He is wasted! On our left! Up ahead! He is... Enemy target located. Bogey on our 6. Mission accomplished. Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Bogey on our 6. Take off! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Take it back one! On our right! Bogey on our tail! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. On our left! Deep! On our right! Bogey on our 6. On our right! Bogey on our 6. On our left! Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Back! On our right! Take off! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on Bogey on our 6. Great shot! Take off! Enemy target located. Mission accomplished. Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located. Fire!
Alert, body
Take off!
damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy target located.
Alert, body damage.
Enemy
Alert,
locked on
body
target.
damage.
Away!
Alert, body
Enemy target
damage.
located. I'm losing him! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bring back one! Jesus, miss! Enemy target located. On our right! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! On our right! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! They blew him away! Jesus, miss! Up ahead! Enemy target located. Bogey on our tail! Bogey on our 6. On our left. Up ahead! On our left. Enemy target located. Bogey on our 6. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Jesus! Bogey at 12 o'clock! On our right! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Great shot! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Great shot! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail! On our left! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Back one! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! On our right! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Great shot! Stay with him! Back one! Mission accomplished. Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy target located.
Warning.
Enemy locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! On our right! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. On our left! Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Take off! On our right! Enemy. Bogey on our tail! Up ahead! On our left! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! On our left! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our tail! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Take off! Bogey at 12 o'clock! Bingo!
Alert, body damage. Alert,
Enemy
body
locked on
damage.
target.
Alert,
Altitude
body
low, flying.
damage. Alert, body damage.
Mission accomplished. Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. On our right.
Alert, body
Bogey on our
damage.
6.
Alert, body
Enemy locked
damage.
on target.
Alert,
Too low,
body
flying.
damage.
Enemy
Alert,
locked on
body
target.
damage. Alert,
Bingo!
body damage.
Too low, flying.
Alert,
Ahead,
body
ahead.
damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
I'm losing him. Let's return. I'm losing him. Enemy in sight.
Caution.
Enemy target located. Bogey 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on. Enemy.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
On our right. Bogey on our 6. Take off. Let's return to mission, buddy. Enemy targets located. Bogey on our tail. I'm losing him. Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Enemy altitude too low.
Warning.
Enemy locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Take off! Let's return to mission, buddy. I'm losing him. Enemy targets located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Altitude too low. Climb.
Caution. Low
Bogey on our 6.
altitude.
Altitude
Caution.
too low. Climb. Bogey on our 6. On our right. On our right. Bogey on our 6. Take off. I'm losing him. Enemy target located. Altitude too low. Climb. Altitude too low. Climb.
Caution.
Take
Low
out. On our
altitude.
right. Altitude
Caution.
too low. Climb. Mission accomplished. locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! He's wasted! Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! He's toast! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! He's wasted! Enemy altitude too low. Climb! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Blew him away! Enemy target located. Enemy target altitude too low. Climb! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! He's wasted! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Mission accomplished. Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Come back! Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Take off!
One.
Up through! Him away! Bogey on our tail! I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Altitude too low. Climb!
Caution.
Bingo! Yahoo!
Caution.
Too low. Climb!
Low altitude.
Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Altitude too low. Climb!
Caution.
Enemy targets located.
Caution.
Bingo! Yahoo! Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Take off! I'm losing him! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Bogey at 12 o'clock. On our left. Bogey on our tail. Bogey on our 6.
Alert, body damage.
Too low.
Alert, body damage.
On our left.
Alert, body
Bogey on our
damage.
tail.
Alert, body
Take off.
damage.
Altitude too low.
Alert, body
Climb.
damage.
On our right. Enemy locked. Altitude too low. Climb. Mission accomplished. Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! On our left! Bogey on our 6. Take off! Enemy targets located. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Take off. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Enemy targets located. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Take off. I'm losing him. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. On our right. Bogey on our 6.
Caution.
Enemy targets located. Take off! I'm losing him! Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy targets located. Enemy targets located. Enemy up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. Take off. I'm losing him. Let's return to mission, buddy. Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Bogey at 12 o'clock. Enemy locked on target. Bogey on our tail. Bogey on our tail. Bogey on our 6.
Caution.
Take off. Bogey on our tail. Enemy targets located. On our right. Up ahead. Enemy locked on Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Take off. Enemy targets located. Up ahead. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Enemy bogey on our 6. Mission accomplished. Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! He's wasted! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Jesus! Miss! Bogey on our tails! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Back one! Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot him down! Blew him away! Mission accomplished. Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located.
Caution! Caution!
Great shot! Bogey on our tail! I'm losing him! Let's return to mission! Enemy targets located. Bogey on our tail! Enemy in sight.
Caution! Caution!
Enemy locked on target.
Caution!
Great shot!
Caution!
Enemy locked on target.
Caution!
Jesus, miss! Enemy target located.
Caution!
Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. On our right. Bogey on our tail. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Great shot! Bingo! Yahoo!
Caution!
Bingo! Yahoo! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight.
Caution.
Enemy targets located. I'm losing him. Let's go.
Caution.
Pull out of it.
Engine stalled.
Up ahead. Enemy targets located. Bogey on our tails. I'm losing him. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. On our right. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target.
Caution.
Great shot.
Caution.
Great shot. Enemy targets located.